We are continuing on with our Laravel e-commerce series, and today I want to introduce some invoicing into our project. Right now, I am currently logged in as a user, and I have two orders for this user. There's one order here, and there's one order here. Basically, what I want to do is I want to have this View Invoice button go to a page just displaying that one particular order. Let's get started on that first. To get this set up, the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a route. We already have an order controller, and so what we can do is just copy this one, and I want to put a slash here, and I want to call it invoice. And then we're also going to attach the order confirmation number. So the class will be show, and the name will be orders.show. Let's head into the checkout controller and start working on that function. So we'll head down to the show method or function. And here we are already injecting our order into it. We're using root model binding. This order will be able to recognize the confirmation number. That's how we're setting this up. So all we need to do is return Inertia, render, and it's going to be in the orders folder, and the page will be show. And then we're going to go ahead and pass in order. And for this, since we're already passing in the order, we're just going to do order, load, products. This way our products are already brought into the page. So let's go down to the resources.js folder. Right here. I'm just going to take this page, this index page, and I'm going to duplicate it and call it show. Now I'm just going to paste in some code. It's going to be pretty much the same thing, where we have a print function and we are bringing in our order. We're looping over the order products with the image, and we have it as a link. We have our format currencies for our billing totals, our billing subtotal, billing discount, billing tax. All that information is there. The other thing that I want to do is, instead of orders, this is going to say order. And let me make sure that I have that correct in here. For now, that's pretty good. Let's also add this link into that index page so that we can head straight to it. Okay, so right where we're displaying this yellow button, we have it as an href, and then we're going to go ahead and put a colon. This will now be route, orders, show, and then we're going to pass in the order confirmation number. Let's give this a try. If we hover, if you look on the left, right in this area here, when I hover, you'll be able to see that we now have the confirmation number in there. Okay, and you can match it up with this confirmation number up here. Let's go ahead and click that. And now you can see in the browser, we have the invoice with our confirmation number. And if you scroll down a little bit, that's everything that's coming in from that order. Fantastic. So this invoice that we have our users going to is only for authenticated users. So this information, the products associated with the order, the date, the confirmation number, all of that information is stored in our database for the authenticated user. But what I want to do is I want to use another system where we can send the confirmation whether or not they're authenticated. We can send them the confirmation email. They'll be able to print it, they'll be able to download it, and they'll be able to store it however they want to store it. They'll be able to access it based on the confirmation number. The package that I want to use to handle all of this is through Laravel Daily and his team, and it's called Laravel Invoices. This package was basically built on top of Barry VDH's Laravel DOM PDF project that he has. And I really do like the way that they did this, because with that package that the one from Barry VDH, it was a little bit tricky to customize the PDFs. And what this Laravel Invoices allows you to do is it allows you to customize things a lot more. And it's a very simple system. You can do pretty much anything you want to do with it. You can add whatever information you want to add to it. And it is compatible with Laravel 9, Laravel 8, Laravel 7. You can update it because you're constantly updating this project. And it's just a really decent package. You can even use it for Laravel, well, less than 5, which I think it's the backwards compatibility makes it pretty user-friendly. It's really simple. Basically, what we're just doing is creating a new customer, and they have their own classes. Create the name, the email, custom fields. You add the items to it, the buyer, the discount, whatever information you want to put in it, you can go ahead and put it, and it'll be displayed in that PDF. So why don't we go ahead and install this? It's really simple. We're just going to go ahead, copy this. Okay, head into our terminal. Go ahead, paste that in. Press enter and install. And if you guys can do me a favor, I'm trying out this new highlighter cursor circular thing right here. If you guys are finding this useful with me navigating throughout my pages, let me know down in the comments, because that would be really helpful if you guys would give me some feedback on that. So now we have our project installed. Let's head back and see what else there is to do. Okay, so we have installed it. And after installing, publish its assets, views, and translations, because it does give us some pages to work with. Go ahead, paste that here. Okay, so it's published some assets, views, translations. I'm pretty sure this translations is new. I'm not 100% sure on the previous version, but I know it has been recently updated. But let's go ahead and check the config. As you can see, it's displaying the date in a carbon format, serial number. All of these things can be customized. You can customize it based on where you live and based on what currency you'll be using. All of those things can be customized in here. For now, I am pretty much going to leave this and let's just get it up and working first. The other thing that it has published for us was some pages, which would be not in JS, but it would be in our views. Okay, and this is the folder. Vendor invoices templates default blade.php. And it's already been styled. We have the invoice name. It's already plugging in certain things for us. Basically, what we'll be seeing is coming from this page right here, okay? For now, I am just going to create a controller. And I'm going to call it invoice controller. I'm going to make it resourceful, and I'm also going to attach the model of order. This way it's injected in for us. So let's head to that invoice controller. And as you can see, we have our order injected into some of the things that we need. And for now, I just want to head down and I want to use one of the basic, we can use all of this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and copy this, just so we can see all of the things that will come with it. And we'll put this in our controller. Okay, and let's start importing some of these. Make sure that's from the same package. Invoice item. And the invoice. That should be good. I don't see any more errors. And for now, I want to also add our order model into this index method or function, so that when we make the route, we can have that confirmation number. So I'll take this one. I'm going to copy paste it. And we'll get rid of this my invoice. And it'll just be invoice order confirmation number. This will be the invoice controller. And this is going to be show. So here I'll do invoice show, and that means that I need to change this invoice controller from index to show. Sorry about that. And I can take out this order from here. We'll head down to the show method or function and paste that back in here. Okay, well, let's make a function to be able to do this. So we need to head to, I'm going to close out the default. The index is done. We'll head to the show page and get that button to do that. Right now, we don't have a function for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this confirmation number. And then here, instead of my orders, it'll be invoice. And actually, the confirmation number is already here. So we'll go ahead, press enter. And target class invoice controller. Oh, we need to import it in our web route. Invoice controller, great. And I can close this now. Okay, let's try it again. Number formatter. This error, I remember reading a while back that this error has something to do with the fact that since it's from the UK, it's based on that currency. And so because I'm in the US, I'd have to change some of the currency information if I'm not mistaken, but you have to read the documentation from Laravel Invoices because I believe it was one of the issues. In order to get around this, what I did was because my PDF, I want it to look a little bit different and I'm customizing it. What I had to do was go to the default page. This is the blade template that it gave us. For this right here, it's all the way at the bottom. It's this section right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just comment it out. That's where it's trying to come from the config file, and it's what's giving us that error. So we'll go ahead and refresh. PHP GD extension is required but is not installed. And that's because the package that we have comes with the Laravel Invoices logo, and I don't want to display that. So we need to fix that in the controller function that we have. So in the invoice controller, if we go down to where we're displaying that logo, I'm going to go ahead and just comment that line out. And as you can see, now we have our PDF finally. This is really interesting. You can change up all this stuff, and we're going to, but you can add the seller, the buyer. This is the information that the default information that we put in that controller. These are the different items. It's got different pages, and it's fully functional. You can go ahead and download. And as you can see, it'll download it as a PDF, and you can also print it. This is what it would look like if we were to print it now. Let's go ahead and add our custom information to this. Okay, so let's head up to the top of this function. And the client is going to be the new party, which is fine. I'm going to take this information out because we don't really need it. And this Roosevelt Lloyd, I'm going to change to Coders Shop, since that's the name of my shop. So customer is going to be new party. Don't forget we have the order coming in. So now we can put order, billing, name. And for the custom fields, I don't want this stuff here. I want to put the email instead. And again, order. For now, we'll just call it order, billing, name. Again, we just want to see this information on the front end. And now we can go ahead and refactor this items here. For each order products as product. And then we're going to create an items variable, and it's going to be an array. We're going to say it equals new invoice item We're going to give it a title, and it's going to be the product name. And then we're going to give it the price per unit, and it should be like this, price per unit, and it'll be product price divided by 100, and the quantity will equal product pivot quantity. Because don't forget that that orders products table that we have is a pivot table. And I need to get rid of this closing parentheses here, and I need to add it up here for the invoice. Okay, great. So now my text editor has stopped yelling at me. We're not going to use any notes. You can if you want to, but this invoice, I'm just going to have it say invoice make, and I'm going to put this in order so I don't mess it up. So the seller is going to have the client. The buyer is going to have that customer property that we have. The series, I'm going to put it down here, is going to say coders shop. Once I get to show you the page with our custom information, you'll see what all of this information is. We don't need the sequence or the status. I'm keeping it very simple. Sequence series, and this file name, I'm going to bring it up. And the file name, let me change this up. Coders shop. And then I want order confirmation number. And you can play around with all of these variables and see what it is you want to add to yours. This is just what I'm doing for mine. I want to add total discount, which will just be the order billing discount divided by 100. And this one is going to be the tax rate. So pretty much everything that we have in our confirmation page. And this will be from the config cart tax. That's coming through from our Bum shopping cart. Okay, and then we can go ahead and get rid of all of this. Add items. It's going to be add items, and just going to copy this. And for this, I'm going to put shipping. I still haven't decided about what we're going to do for shipping yet. So for now, we'll just make it a 0. Items, we're not doing notes. I'm going to leave this here in case you want to add your logo to it. I don't need to, but you can. And then we'll just leave it at that. So I can put the semicolon here, and I can get rid of this. I can also get rid of this link because we're not going to be needing it, and then just return invoice stream. So let's go see what we have so far. So as you can see, we have our invoice up here. This is the serial number right from in here, this serial number format. So this is the sequence that's coming from the config. The series is right next to it. So we're just adding that information into it. That's what that serial number is coming from. Okay, so we have the seller, which is our coder shop, the buyer, Nolani Hines. We don't have the email for that user, but we can go ahead and put that in a bit. But as you can see, we have the description of the item, the quantity, we have the price. I'll change this up in a bit as well. And the subtotal, discount, taxable amount, tax rate, all of that information is in there. We can go and download it. And when we go to download it, you'll see we have coder shop as the file name, and this is the confirmation number .pdf. So that's how it's going to store our PDF once we try to download it. If you go to print it, you'll see that this is pretty much exactly what it's going to look like. And we'll possibly add some more customization to this too. I'm not sure yet, but for now, this is a good starting point for us. So the first thing that I do want to change is this email. So we'll say user email just to keep it consistent. And then I also want to change that pound to the $sign. So let's go ahead to that config file, invoices. Okay, and let's head up to currency. So here it's default set to the euro. And for me, I'm going to be changing this to USD. You can change it to whatever you're going to be using for it. And instead of this pound symbol, I'll add the dollar. And instead of the value and the symbol, I'm going to add the symbol value. And that should be good. Let's go ahead and try it. Okay, great. So we have our email in here, and then we have the $sign with the price, and that looks good. Fantastic. Great. We're able to access our PDF, our invoices, but here's the issue. If we go back to my invoices /invoice, if we click this button doesn't do anything. What we need to do is use this button to send the request to the controller in order to be able to get us to that print page instead of us having to manually type it in. Let's start with the web route. If we go to our web routes, this route that we just created, I'm going to create another one, and this one is going to be a post. So the invoice, the order is going to stay the same. The invoice controller is going to stay the same. We'll go ahead and change this to store. If we go to our invoice controller and go to that store function, which is right up here, we'll go ahead and create that function. So to do this, we need to create a URL variable, and we're going to say route invoice show. We're going to pass in an order property, and this order property is going to be coming from the front end in the request. And then we'll return Inertia location to that URL. And this is coming from Inertia. It allows you to redirect to a page that's not sort of a GET request. So it just allows you to set whatever the URL is you want to go to. This allows you to directly set it. And we've already set it right up here in the URL property. And if we open up the layout that we have set up here, you see that our yellow button has a submit button. It's in a form. The method is print, and it's that print invoice button. So let's go ahead and set that method. We're calling it print. And we'll also need to add a form. So this form post, it'll be this route invoice store. And then we'll pass in the order form. Let's go ahead and add that data property. And here we're just returning the form. It'll be this Inertia form. And we're going to be passing in the order. And this is the order that we're getting from the props that we're pulling in from the order controller. This order variable property with the products is what we're passing into that show page. And then in the form, we're calling that order. We're just grabbing the confirmation number. We're adding it to the form, and then we're posting it to that print function. So let's see how this works out. Okay, so now we can press print invoice, and now it's brought us to that invoice page with the confirmation up top here. Everything that we have already set up with the invoice is in here. Fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and close up most of these. And what I want to do is this show function that we have here for the invoice. Okay, this is a lot of information for what we need to have come from the invoice. And we are going to be using this in different places. So not just here in the user account, when the user is logged in, we're also going to be using it for mailables. So what I want to do is I want to grab all of this, every single bit of it. I'm going to cut it out of here, and then I'm going to create another service. If you're not sure about what the services are and how we're using them and what they're good for and all of that jazz, I am leaving links to the playlist for the entire series in the description and as a pinned comment, so you could go ahead, check that out, and kind of catch up with us. But for now, our service is going to be called Invoice Service. In here, we'll do PHP. We're going to need a namespace, and it's just going to be an app services. We're going to need a class, and it's just going to be called Invoice Service. So then we're going to need a public function. This function name, it's just going to be called Create Invoice. This Create Invoice, we're going to pass in the order. And then we're going to paste in everything that we just grabbed from that controller. So let's go ahead and import all of these. Okay, that looks good. And now in the invoice controller, in this show function that we have, we can add invoice service, call it invoice service. And now in here, we can just return invoice service. We're going to use that create invoice function that we just made in the service. We're going to pass in the order, and then we'll just continue the stream. Okay, and make sure that that's imported up top, invoice service, and now we can get rid of all of these from in here. So this show function, we are creating our invoice. All we did was extract all of that information that we were using to create the invoice. We're passing it into this create invoice function, which is coming from the invoice service. And in the invoice service, we're passing in the order to the create invoice function. And then it's just running through everything that we put in through to that function from the controller. The other thing is, since we're doing stream from the controller, we do not need to add that here. We can just remove that from here. And hopefully everything should still work. Let's cross our fingers and check the browser. Go ahead, refresh the page, print invoice. Okay, great. All of that still works. Fantastic. So there are a few more things that I want to add to this PDF. For the customer, not only do I want the customer name to be displayed, I do want to add that address. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in some information, which is just the billing address, the billing city, state, zip code. For the items, I want to have the title, the product name is fine, but I also want to add a description. And this is one of the functions that are coming from that Laravel Invoices package that we're using. So we already have the product. We're just going to add the description for it. The price per unit is going to stay the same. Quantity is going to stay the same. And that's good, 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 good. Now let's see what it looks like. So we have a bit more information. We have our address right in here. And we have the description for the items as well as the item name and then the prices. Something else we can do is, if we go back to this page, we can change up this title a little bit so that it doesn't say my orders. Let's go ahead and open up the show page. And right in this title here, if we just put a colon here, and let's see, bring that in, we can say my order. And then we can add some backticks, $, so we can escape the strings. And then we'll do order confirmation number. Let's see what that looks like. So that just changed that up there, and I think that looks fine. I don't mind having it there like that. Fantastic. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and click that like button as it really does help out the channel. I'm going to leave links in the description, including the playlist, so that you can catch up on all of the videos in this Laravel e-commerce series. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.